Welcome back to a hot edition of Guide to Poor Parenting, a podcast for me, Jason.
And me, Jennifer.
Sweat a bunch and then have a few drinks.
And talk shit about our kids.
Please follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Guide to Poor Parenting.
And Facebook, TikTok at Poor Parent Pod.
And if you have any funny stories about your kids.
Or if you need some bad parenting advice or have questions for us,
please call us at 256-274-1329
and leave a message with that. And if you have topics, because we would also like to get some topic ideas, because we're
turning to ChatGPT next.
Yes.
Miss Jennifer, I'm so excited because we have an acclaimed author
yes
on our podcast. So we have been sweating like crazy today. Today was Pride here in Huntsville, Alabama, and our guest and his family was down at the Pride Parade too. We just missed each other because it was too darn hot to go explore and try and find each other.
And the parade is so darn short that it wouldn't have been even worth it, because it was probably like 15 minutes.
Yep. But now Miss Kalia and our guest daughter are playing in the Kalia's bedroom, hopefully not screaming at each other. I'm sure they will be in a minute.
And you'll probably hear it because, they get loud.
So for our tiny little audience, please welcome JB. What was the last name? I forgot.
Mclaurin.
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 JB Mclaurin.
Oh, Mclaurin. Sorry.
Yeah, you gotta say it southern.
When you said it had like an Irish context to it, I wanted to.
Yeah, growing up with my dad. He heavy southern accent, so it's just Mclaurin.
There's a car named McLaren in there, like a fancy, expensive car. I don't know.
Girl, who are you looking at? I don't know.
The straight man over here. What's the name of the expensive fancy car?
He's busy, okay? He's busy.
JB, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We've been talking about doing this for like 6 months now, so
scheduling is tough.
Yes, especially with kids and everything else.
So, JB, just as a quick intro, you have 2 beautiful children. You have, do you want to say their names or no? You want to keep it up?
I'll just talk say son and daughter, and just not. You
have a you know.
That way, later on, if they listen to this someday, a friend can't give them a hard time or something.
I have to ask permission from Kalia if I can tell her stories on the podcast now. Well, I don't have to, but
and if I end up referring to them, I'll just say like J or B or some kind of.
That works.
There you go. Perfect.
There you
go. So you have a daughter who is 11 or 12 now. 11.
And they have pronouns, right? B?
I don't.
I'm going by Kalia, so that's why I said that.
Back
and forth.
Things are. I don't know.
She's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But anytime I talk about B, I'm like, that's they and them, right? And Kalia's like, yes, you did it right, Auntie Jay. And I'm like, okay.
In the end, she just very. I try to be supportive, stay out of the way, just be emotionally
let them
supportive,
figure it out.
Because I'm being educated in the process too. Because obviously it's different when I was growing up, and also she's a really emotionally intelligent kid, and she just cares a lot about trying to make people feel included and comfortable, and which is great. So.
Definitely. Yeah. But her and Kalia have been friends pretty much all through her time at Blossomwood, right?
At least 2 or 3 years.
I can't remember a time they weren't friends.
Yeah. But I say, when is the first time we met you? Was it at a birthday party or did Kalia?
I came to a party here.
Yeah, it was a bounce house.
Y'all had a bounce house.
That's right. That's right.
And I knew y'all were all right because y'all offered me a beer.
That's right.
But that's been.
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, if not 3.
Because the babies were jumping on the trampoline too. The grandbabies.
Yeah.
His youngest grandbabies. Granddaughter. Well, baby.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, because Ayana was going up in there with the other kids too and having a good old time. But now you were talking about beer. You and Jason are drinking.
I was about to say, why don't you introduce our beer? You can read it?
So it is a straight to ale turbo generator, which is a German style Doppelbock, which is, from what I can tell, pretty similar to their brother Joseph, which is like one of their flagship beers.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Well, I think that's a Belgian double.
Well, it says on here
No, you're
German
right.
style double bock lager.
No, Brother Joseph, though.
Oh,
That's a Belgian double.
I don't
This
know
is a
nothing
Doppelbock.
about beer.
You're right. So this is a Doppelbock. It's got a little more bite to it.
Yeah, this one, like they're pretty similar in taste. I would say the Brother Joseph's maybe a little heavier.
Yeah.
This one's a little lighter, but it's still like the flavor profile is still pretty similar.
Does a turbo generator mean there's a little bit more alcohol in it? Maybe.
I do not know.
I don't know nothing about beer, so.
I think it's just the name of the beer.
Oh, okay.
I think they're about the same.
Gotcha.
It's 8%. So
Yeah,
There you go.
For the people, so for some strange reason, we love them. We don't know why, but like our podcast is very popular in Virginia
Yep.
and Georgia.
Georgia.
So for the people in Georgia and Virginia, there's a local brewery called Straight to Ale, which is kind of a pun on Straight to Hell.
Yep.
And
Because they have like devil horns in their names.
yeah, and they have a bunch of like specialized craft brewery here in town. I don't think they're available really outside the state.
Yeah, and they also make the spirits.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which are not very good. Have you tried their
I
spirits?
don't really
I
like
have
their
not tried the
spirits.
spirits. And I do think there was a time, I don't know if they did have out-of-state distribution for a while. I don't know if they still do.
They probably do. I mean, they're doing really well.
I saw them in last time we went to Destin, Florida. There was a beer place that sold it.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't really like their liquor. Now, when they mixed it with something, it was better, definitely. But like straight, because I like straight whiskey.
Yeah, I think it's called like Shelby Cavern
Oh, I don't even.
Spirits. I don't know. So
They make their own vodka and their own whiskey
and rum, I think?
and their own rum. Yeah.
Yeah, but for listeners outside of Huntsville, there's a old middle school that actually Jennifer went to.
Nope.
You were
I
there?
went to West Lawn. That was Stone, but
okay.
I went to Stone after school because my father dated a lady who had 2 kids, and one of her kids was the same age as me, and she was at Stone. So I'd play basketball while she had cheerleading practice. So
I remember Stone.
Yep. So there was a middle school here in town called Stone Middle School. It was on Governors, and Governors was always a really there's as far as I understand of Huntsville, because I've only been here 16 years. But there's a real famous for Huntsville restaurant called Bandito Burrito, and there's a sign that says like something about prostitutes and drug dealers down the road or something.
And I mean, that was, Governors was the walk back in the day where you would see
Prostitutes and
the
drug
prostitutes.
dealers.
I don't know about drug dealers, but you would see the ladies.
Yeah. JP, you're native to Huntsville, so what memories do you have of Governors, or if you have any?
Well, I guess one thing, it was always like you drive out to get to the interstate. So just memories of like being in the car with my parents to go out to, if we were going to the beach but really my world was pretty contained to Blossomwood. That's where I grew up.
Like the
5
hospital
Points.
district.
Yeah, hospital.
Yeah.
My mom worked at the hospital. We really didn't
See the ladies.
most of what I did as a kid, I was on my bike in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
That was my world.
And that Blossomwood neighborhood has a pool too, doesn't it?
We went to Mountain Springs Pool, still do.
So you get to
and
go
then
swimming.
The 3 caves are up there.
Oh, yeah.
And we were totally fascinated by that. And I lived near there. And actually, back then, you couldn't. It was not the land trust. So that's what we loved going up there. And we.
Did you get to go into the caves? Because now they're blocked off, if I remember correctly,
back
right?
then, it was technically trespassing, but they kind of
You didn't
turned a blind eye.
Right.
Because police would come up there and nobody would get in trouble.
They
But
were
we walked as much of the cave system as we could because I think it was a limestone mine. I don't know if that's right.
It was a
But,
quarry, if I remember correctly.
and we went up there all the time, me and my buddies, and it was cool because especially in the summer too, when it's so hot, the caves were cool. You could walk back there.
That is so cool how that temperature drops
Yeah.
when you get into a cave. Yeah.
But to answer your question, we really, as a kid, didn't go out that way much.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I first moved to Huntsville, I'd seen something about 3 caves. And so when I first moved to Huntsville, they had a big chain link fence, but there was a giant hole in it. So I just walked through it.
Yeah.
And but I think in the last, like right before COVID, they put up a huge steel barrier right at that pinch point.
It's totally different.
Yeah, you can't get into it anymore. But I remember going in there all the time with Zane, and I would take my little brothers because I was in Big Brothers Big Sisters, and we would just go back exploring. Their mom was telling me that when she was in high school, that she went to a party where they lowered extension cords. Because so for non-Huntsville people, it's a limestone quarry with 3 entrances, and there's a back area where it's caved in a little bit, like there's an opening through the top. And so she said that someone ran electrical cords down the opening in the back, and they set up speakers.
That's right, because if you go deeper into the woods, there's just a giant hole.
Yep. But they said that you could hear the music because it created such a resonant chamber in the caves. Yeah. You could hear it downtown. It was
wow.
Those woods, we explored those. And we walked back in the caves and saw it from the bottom all the time. And we definitely, because there was a cutout in that, I think it's still called Hermitage Park, the park up there.
Yeah.
There was a cutout there that I'm sure they've patched now, but we went up there all the time.
Yeah, I used to. Well, I think there was even a hiking trail that would take you down kind of near the.
I think it links up. I don't hike, but I think it links up with all the trail system that eventually would get a Montesano. I've never done it.
I got lost in the Montesano Trail because I wasn't sure which one. First, I forgot which one I was on, and then I kept seeing signs, and I'd follow them, and I'm like, why am I going further and further away? This is supposed to be a short walk. So luckily I found my way. And the thing is I found my way to the main street.
Yeah.
Up there on Montesano, right in front of the apartments.
Oh, Bankhead.
And I knew someone that lived there, and I was just like knocking, and I'm like, please be home. And I'm like, hi. He was like, what are you doing up here? And I'm like, I got lost and I found you. Can you drive me to my car, please? Because I am done walking and I'm tired. And so he ended up driving me to my car. Because I parked at the land trust thinking I can just follow, the signs. And I don't know if people be messing with them signs, but I was going everywhere.
Miss J, knowing you probably weren't paying attention that close.
Well, I know. I didn't have my phone. So, I was enjoying nature.
Were cell phones a thing by then?
They might not have been. I might have been on my Zune because my brother brought up Zune before. And I was like, damn, I forgot I had a Zune.
What's a Zune?
A Zune was like an iPad. The
Bluebird? No, BlackBerry.
The iPod.
Oh.
And so I had a Zune because
gotcha.
I didn't have anything Apple at that time. And the Zune, I just plugged it in my computer, put all my music in, and that's all I had. So I listen to music, look at nature, it was like, I'll just have a nice little walk, and it was turned into a very bad walk. And luckily, I found my friend and went home and was like, fuck going on trails.
I love how we ended up getting lost on trails when we started talking about governors, but so back to Stone Middle School. There is a brewery for our listeners. There's a brewery there, or they turned the old middle school into a convention center, event space, and the gym became Straight Dale's Brewery.
Yeah,
and I think they still have on the main bar in there. I think they've got the wood from the gym.
They do. Yeah. There's the wall back behind, over by the kitchen, in between the bar and the kitchen, and that's I think the old bleachers. And Zane actually signed it the day they opened because we're so tall. You can still see it.
Yep.
So
yeah.
And they still have the scoreboard in the gym.
There's a portrait up there of one of the winning teams.
Yep.
So that funny story about that winning team when that place first opened. There's like JB was saying. There's a picture of the winning team from Stone Middle School, but below it, right when Straight Dale opened, I guess there was some middle school graffiti, and someone wrote like, "Colin's got a micro penis," and it was there for like the first 2 or 3 years that we were that place was open, and they finally painted it over. It was like, oh man, you should have left that up. It's hilarious. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, so beer.
So now it's break time.
Yep. All right, so we're going to take a quick... Ooh, I can't speak anymore. I'm never sure I could speak. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. And we're back. And if you hear any burbling in the background, it's my grandson talking
He
to the
is
storm.
very talkative right now.
I know. He's starting to walk. So we're going to have to start putting up the baby gates because I suspect the baby's going to get into kitty litter very soon.
Well, he was out here yesterday morning or afternoon when we got back from Point Mallard. And Justin was taking a TV back into that back bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh man, what are you doing crawling on the floor? Where are you going? And then he was going towards the water dishes that are on the floor. And I'm like, you ain't playing in no water. So I was kind of saying it out loud for Justin to hear because I figured, if the baby's going towards where Justin is, that Leia's not in the room because Leia would have not let him crawl that far. And I was like, baby, don't touch the water. Saying it kind of loud. And then finally Justin comes back and I was like, I was watching him, making sure he wouldn't do nothing. But we got plugs near the wall. I don't want him to put his fingers in it. I'm a big mama at heart. So I was just like, get this baby now. Go away with him because he don't need to be playing in the water. We're trying to eat the cat food.
Lord, I don't know. Y'all don't have, JB, you don't have cats, right? You just have dogs?
No, 2 dogs.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with cats, so I don't know where to start. And
I am more of a dog person than I am a cat person, but I do have a cat. So
I grew up with dogs too, but when I was in high school, I snuck a cat in, and my parents, I snuck a cat into the house for 3 or 4 weeks before my parents noticed.
Oh wow!
And then they finally were like, okay, you can keep it. I'm like, yay!
If my kids had their way, we'd have a cat.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I should have said too. My son Jay, he's 13, and they begged for cats, and we have 2 dogs. One we've had for years, who's fantastic, best behaved dog ever, and then our other dog, who is a great dog, big heart, but energy's always at an 11.
Is that the one that's outside?
He has to stay outside most. He comes in at night, a lot of nights, but he gets bored within seconds in the house. Like, it's bad. Y'all are just gonna sit there and watch the TV.
Y'all aren't gonna throw stuff for me to catch?
Because he'll start dropping his rubber toy in front of me while I'm trying to watch something. It's like, dude, you gotta go back outside. Like, that's not. But
go chase something.
We got him during the pandemic because I remember my wife calling him Corn Pup. On maybe she posted on Instagram or something.
Funny.
And 2 dogs is enough. I just had to draw the line. It's like, I'm already taking care of this dog, even though the typical.
Yeah.
Of course, Dad, we'll take care of him.
Oh yeah.
He became my dog, which I'm glad we have him, but that was the hard stop. No more pets.
Yeah. How old are the pups? Oh, I asked a
Our
hard
older
question.
dog is. We really don't know. They're both rescues.
Okay.
So
I understand that.
When we went to get our older dog, it's the one where maybe you go all the way down Patton. It's just way out there.
The Humane Society.
Yeah. No, the one that's Animal Services.
Animal Services.
Yeah.
And like most, it was basically, and I think I had to fill out. They vet you, I think, to a degree. I had to fill out something, basically to protect the dog.
Yeah.
But it was, I think we paid $50, and they did all the stuff.
Shots, made sure they were spayed or neutered.
To bring it around, the reason I don't really know how old he is I felt like every dog in there about his size was 2, because you went to every kennel, and every dog was 2 years old.
And they're just guessing.
And they're ballparking.
Yeah.
So when we got him home, I think he was probably more like 1. But now I think he's probably 10 or 11.
Oh, wow.
What was I? He's a bigger dog. He's like 50
About 50
pounds.
pounds.
Yeah.
Which that's my wife's dog. She loves him to death. And we didn't. I'd love to take credit for his behavior, but we just had nothing to do with it. He just came that way. And
he was like, I got a family. I don't want to go back to those cages.
I think there is both of them are incredibly loyal, both dogs, because we rescued our younger one, and he's probably about 5 now, and they might stray a little bit. Like, we let the older dog out, no leash, and they might tour a little bit of the neighborhood, but they always come back. And I think there's something instinctually about a rescue dog that they're just great. I think they know when they're in that atmosphere there, it's It's like, this is not good.
I've seen some exceptions to that rule.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So like I've rescued 3 dogs outside of a rescue shelter. One of my dogs was a black lab that just showed up at my mom's house on St. Patty's Day. So I was like, I'm going to call you an Irish name because I'm German-Irish.
He was looking for a beer.
Yeah, I guess Mama ain't got no beers, though, so he wasn't looking for one there. But, or she, sorry. And so St. Patty's Day, I was looking up, Irish names, and I was like, I don't think I can pronounce any of these. So I named her Bailey. Bailey's Irish Cream. And she, black lab mix, like I took her to the vet. They're like, we think she's around.
Yeah, they can't say
4 or 5 or 3 or 4, whatever, they just guess. They look at teeth and stuff. And then I got Mila, who, she was a friend of mine's boyfriend's dog. And she was a German Shepherd Alaskan Malamute mix. And he kept her outside in the middle of summer. And I'm like, this dog has 2 coats of fur. This dog is Alaskan Malamute, needs to be in cold weather. And she's like, would you take her? And I'm like, fuck yeah. Because she'll just stay inside all day until she's got to go potty, And her name was Marla. And I'm German, so I was like, well, if I did Bailey with an Irish, maybe I'll find a German name. But since she had already been called Marla, I was like, I couldn't find any German names that kind of matched where it would be an easy transition to go from Marla to something else.
Yeah.
And then I thought about my second favorite movie, which is The Fifth Element. And I was like, I love Mila Jovovich.
I haven't heard somebody mention that one in a while.
Mila Jovovich, Lilo Dallas Multipass.
Yeah.
So I was like, Mila and Marla are really close together. And she picked up on Mila so quick, so she's Mila.
I remember that. I love movies.
That was my second. That's my second
That's a
favorite
cool
movie.
Pick.
Because
you got Chris Tucker.
Yep.
Gary Oldman.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Lilo Dallas.
Obviously Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
No, that was. I remember watching as a kid and just is the wildest movie. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah,
Yes.
we when we first adopted Justin, I was like, oh, let's watch, because that's one of my favorite movies, and I was like, let's watch this, Justin. He watched it and was like, that was weird. I was like, yeah, I could see.
It's a wild movie.
It's a wild. Wait, you said kid. So Jennifer's 45. I'm 47. How old are you, JP?
Just turned 40.
Oh, you're
about a month ago.
You're a baby.
Oh, you're a baby. Well, happy belated birthday
Thank
to
you.
you.
Yeah,
Welcome
just
to
turned
the 40s.
I'm here.
They suck. I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, wait for your energy levels to drop off a cliff.
It's already started.
Man,
back sore. Yeah.
Yeah.
For no reason at all.
Take lots of naps.
You just got out of bed wrong.
Yeah.
And that's why your back's sore.
No, I wish I had a good explanation.
That's at that age, You walk down a step wrong, it's like, oh, what happened? What part of my body hurts now?
Yep. You sneeze and throw out your back.
But
Yep.
I know a lot of the movies. One of the cool things my parents let me do is pretty much when it came to movies and music, they knew how much it meant. Well, movies. Yeah. My brother got me into movies deeper, and we always watched movies with my dad. And movies were just a big deal in our household. And early on, they kind of took the governor off and let us start watching. Yeah, I saw T2. I think when I was in 3rd, 4th grade.
Oh wow!
First rated R movie I'd ever seen, and just.
What was it?
Terminator 2.
Terminator 2.
Which is why when y'all mentioned AI earlier, I remember Skynet. And I remember what happened when it became aware of itself.
Yep.
I was like, T2, it's like, I didn't even realize that was rated R.
It was.
I mean,
yeah, it had to be rated R.
Yes, it was.
yeah.
I think RoboCop was rated R.
See, I saw RoboCop
of the
early
way
on, too.
that
That's
the
pretty
dude.
gruesome. Like T2
it's a rough movie.
is more of an
RoboCop's
action
a rough
movie,
movie.
though. Like, 'cause I remember Terminator was pretty scary. The original was pretty scary. It was intense.
Yeah, I ended up watching it later, because it leaned more. I've been watching years more horror than T2 was. It had aspects of that, but it was like the big kind of summer blockbuster type movie.
It was huge.
Yeah, I mean that was James Cameron.
Yeah.
It was kind of just like Alien versus Alien 2, or Aliens. Yeah.
Terminator 2 is definitely better than Terminator 1.
But that's why
opinion.
I know a lot of
That's so
movies
good. Yeah.
that maybe kind of came right before I should have. everything in the 80s my dad showed me. I saw, particularly action movies. I saw the Bruce Willis movies, the Schwarzenegger, Stallone.
Yep.
List goes on.
Are you old enough to, I mean, you're probably the tail end of Blockbuster, or were you?
We went all the time. I made, in the summers, I would ask, my mom and dad both worked full time. So we would have, usually somebody in high school who could drive would watch us during the day. And if I couldn't go to the pool, I would have whoever was watching us, I'd beg them to take me to Blockbuster.
Gotcha.
And I'd rent whatever I could. And that's how I got into, because I love horror movies. I remember I rented the entire Halloween franchise.
Oh, wow.
I can't remember how old I was. Probably about my kid's age now. And I started with 1, which is still my favorite movie. And just watched through, I don't think H2O had come out yet.
Yeah, H2O was probably more later,
probably
later 90s.
I think it was 98.
Yeah,
because it was the 20 year.
Because it was LL.
Yeah, because the Halloween came out 78.
That's all I remember. I remember LL.
But no, I went to Blockbuster all the time. The one off the Parkway, which I still want because now it's like a battery store.
No, it's a sewing shop, if I remember correctly.
The one on Oakwood is a sewing shop. I went to that one too.
He's talking about closer to the Applebee's.
Yeah, the one by the Applebee's.
Between, where the big Redstone is on, I guess Mid Parkway.
Yeah.
It's across the street from that.
Oh, over by the honey baked hams.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was a Blockbuster.
Oh,
we went to that one a ton.
And then movie
gallery.
Yeah, we didn't do movie gallery. I did movie gallery when I was in college, but Blockbuster. I wish I had thrown away my Blockbuster card. That'd be cool to still have.
Yeah.
Memories.
My mom would. They would go rent a movie, and then they would watch it. And if they liked it, they had 2 VCRs. And so they would record it.
Oh, yeah, we did that too.
And then my mom had this huge book, and she'd be like, tape 1.
Yeah.
These movies. And I mean, we had so many tapes. And she would watch a movie first, see if I could watch it. And then if I could, then she would pause it at a place that she knew, go away. Let me fast forward real quick, and then I can come back in. So, like RoboCop, I didn't see his death scene until I was probably in my 30s, because I never thought about it.
Yeah.
Because Mama just, paused it, and then I didn't think about what was going on in that. And I was like, one day I was like, why did I have that paused? Man, I'm so glad my mama told me to fast forward, because I was like, damn, they riddled that motherfucker with bullets. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I should not have seen that at 12 or 13,
That scene when, what's his dude, falls in the acid, and then I think they hit him with a car, and he, disintegrates.
Well, movies were...
Yeah.
Because I still remember Dad taking us to see... I think I would have been too young to see the original Tim Burton Batman in theaters, but I know he took us to see...
To see the what? What was that?
The second one. Tim Burton's Batman.
Oh, I love that one. Batman. Yes.
Well, maybe
with Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
Because we all had the shirts with the yellow symbol, and then I do remember going to see Batman Returns. And being totally freaked out by Danny DeVito's character.
Oh, as a penguin?
Yeah.
And then how they... Yeah. He did a really good job at that.
Oh, man. I was... I don't know how old I was when it came out, but I was like, damn, Michelle Pfeiffer. That was hot.
There's a cool... Sorry, now we're nerding out on movies. I don't know if that's what y'all intended.
We don't care about it.
There's a really cool clip of her...
Oh, yeah.
Probably found it on YouTube. And she had to do this thing with the whip and hit. I forget what she had to do. She did
it in one take.
She did it in one take, and you can hear all the production crew giving her a standing ovation, which you mentioned that. It was cool. And obviously, she was great in the movie. And then still, but to this day, we're talking Batman, my favorite movie of all time is The Dark Knight. Well, that and Halloween compete for number 1. So I know I said Halloween earlier, but they're always, and then Heat as well. They're always somewhere up there competing. But The Dark Knight is
Dark Knight is Christian Bale as Batman, right?
The first one, yeah.
Is that the one?
That's Heath Ledger as Joker.
Okay, that's my favorite one too, because
Maggie Gyllenhaal, Aaron Eckhart. I mean, great cast.
And
Gary Oldman.
Two-Face is my actual favorite villain ever because he gives him a chance. And Me and Kalia were talking about villains, and I was like, yeah, Two-Face is my favorite villain. So that one with that whole, because it's more based off the comic books in a way.
And they read it. They're true. I feel like they're true to the comics, even though I didn't read the comics. From what I understand,
I read the comics.
They're pretty true to them, but also it's rooted in the real world in this gritty way that you almost feel like, because sometimes with superhero movies, you're having fun, you're entertained, but this is CGI.
Ridiculous.
This would never happen.
Right.
But the Nolan trilogy was just, it felt like a real crime movie. Like
it did.
This
really
would
good.
be possible in some way. And there's some scenes that, of course, like the airplane scene in the third one, that wouldn't happen. But he rooted in the real world in a way that I just thought was masterful. I love those movies.
Yeah, agreed. I was about to say, what do we want to go back in time to childhoods?
We can go back to. Well, I mean, we've already kind of. Dad took him to lots of movies.
So, well, let's. I want to. You've mentioned before. So, you grew up here in Huntsville. Were you born at Women and Children's like Zane, my husband was?
So I was born. It wasn't Women and Children's at the time.
I was born. It was Huntsville Hospital at the time.
Well, I think I was born there when it was Humana.
Humana.
Oh,
it was
okay.
Humana at the time.
Yeah, it was a pink building. Actually, It is now Women and Children's, and then at the time there was actually a gas station across the street, and it split Big Cove and Governors. You could drive straight onto Big Cove, which I don't know, but random fact. But yeah, grew up here.
I was about to say you didn't move far because your house is literally walking distance from.
No, and we've lived. There was a period of time from when I went to college until 2015, 2016, where lived a lot of different places, but came back, got the kids, knew this was a great place to live, great place,
good schools,
public school, because I want to, in particular, one of my kids to have a public school experience, and really I had a great experience at school growing up. I mean, I say great. Of course, there was the typical,
Yeah.
Not all things are great, but I never felt, I liked the schools I went to. I never,
Did you go to Huntsville Middle and Huntsville High?
Yeah, it was Huntsville Middle, then Huntsville High.
Because now it's Huntsville Junior.
Yeah, it's Huntsville Junior, because you only do 7th and 8th now. When I was there, we did 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Oh, okay.
And they split us into
teams.
Because
that's a lot of the time where they had 3 in middle school and 5 in elementary and 4 in high school. Now they're kind of merging schools to do 9 to 12, and it's a very interesting situation.
And they do all sorts of different block systems and different. I couldn't keep up with it when I heard about it, but
I will say Huntsville Middle or Huntsville Junior, whatever it's called. That building looks like it was probably built when you were in middle school.
And it looks. I went into it, or recently I've had to go into it for the first time a couple times past when I just have to come into the lobby and drop off something my son's forgotten. But actually going into the building and realizing how much had not changed.
Right.
Yeah.
They painted it, and actually they had some really cool murals on the wall going to the band area that had like Stevie Ray Vaughan and I think Jimi Hendrix and
in the kind of when you go into the left. Yeah.
But a lot was the same, and of the schools, though, that I didn't like going to that one because you get in all these quarters where there's no windows, and it just felt
claustrophobic.
Yeah, but I always I like the atmosphere, and I enjoy going to the schools here. So when it came time to figure out, we were living in South Florida, and which we liked, but just we didn't have family there.
Well, let's back up a little bit. So you, where did you go to college at?
Auburn.
So
War Eagle.
My husband is an Auburn grad.
I made a little sand art today, orange and blue. I don't know where it is, but War Eagle. I'm a huge Auburn fan.
I bought a few years ago. I bought my husband an Auburn hoodie, and I'll steal it because it's big and comfy. And on so many occasions, I'll just be walking around, not paying. Like I'm a Texas girl, so I don't know nothing about Auburn.
Hook 'em horns is all you ever say.
And I didn't even go to UT, so I don't know. I just say it to irritate people. But people will yell War Eagle at me, and I'm just like, thank you.
It's one of those things like roll. You got War Eagle, Roll Tide, and it's just one of those phrases that's been adapted to pretty much any circumstance.
Yep. And we were Zane and I were in fucking Italy one year, and he was wearing an Auburn hat, and someone yelled War Eagle at him.
Yeah,
it's like,
I'll do it in an airport just for fun.
And get away
people
from
are always
shit.
cool with it. Alabama fans get to do that too, but I don't. I don't participate in there.
Yeah.
They're usually meaner. Like, oh, you need to take that shirt off, and I'm like, fuck you, I ain't taking my shirt off. This is my band, my
kicking us
team.
while we're down. Like,
You know?
y'all don't have enough to
I
celebrate.
mean, come on now. Why? Don't tell you, especially don't tell a girl take her shirt off. You don't know me.
Sir.
That's right. Or ma'am.
Yeah, whatever. So you would have graduated college like 2007, 2008?
Yeah, that's when I graduated.
What'd you graduate with?
Yeah, what was your degree in?
Psychology.
Oh, okay.
Minor in anything or just straight psychology?
No, I started in science and math because I thought at the time I don't know what I thought. I just thought I'd done
Thinking
pretty well in
about
school up to that point.
engineering and research park? Is that what you were maybe thinking?
No,
of?
I was thinking about being a doctor.
Oh, okay.
And now engineering would not be for me. I don't have the my mind doesn't
Work
that way. And so really just picking psychology for me was why I want to switch majors. I was in science and math for about 2 years. And so it just became a way to
get out.
I picked something. And then later on I was like, well, I got to figure out what I want to do after that. And then I took the LSAT, the
the board for lawyers, right?
right.
That's
Yeah.
the entrance exam, I think, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of what lawyers start with, right?
Yeah. It's the
Yeah,
entrance
you
exams
take
for,
the test,
Yeah.
and then that, based off the score and other things, that's how you apply to law school. And so that's what I did. And
Was medicine or law always kind of like on the something you wanted to do, or was it just...
and because I know some people say, well, I've always wanted to be this since I was a kid, and this, and I didn't.
Peter
I didn't
Pan
have that
syndrome.
when it came to a profession.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons I ended up choosing law is it's kind of
Broad.
like omnibus in a way. Like you can have a lot of different interests.
Yeah.
And law school was really cool that way because people there were just really interesting across the board. And a lot of people that just loved culture as much as I did, like loved books and movies and music, and just loved obsessing over it. Because for whatever reason they weren't ever obsessed over something that you can actually monetize, but it was just I like that aspect of law school because I feel like a lot of people
like to argue.
Yeah, that and had the same couldn't quite figure out where they fit, and it just kind of seemed I don't want to say catch all, but just not as particular as like wanting to be an engineer.
Yeah,
I feel like if you want to be an engineer, you have and of course our town is overrun with them, so I have a lot of friends that are engineers, but it was for me, and I think I don't know, but obviously I got out of that path. And
where did you do law school at?
Alabama.
The University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Never became an Alabama fan, but did go to.
I mean, it is a good law school. Yeah.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Well, I mean, you go where the best is.
Yeah,
that's where I
for Alabama.
Met my wife.
For any school, like if you want to be a vet, Auburn is like your go-to.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be a lawyer, Alabama is, but you don't have to be saying the RTs or the red and whites or anything like that.
So for non-Alabama
listeners,
sorry,
don't say it because
well, the red and white is University of Alabama's colors, and University of Alabama are a big rivalry here in Alabama.
Huge.
So
not the biggest though.
No, it is
not between Auburn. It doesn't matter.
I'm always tickled by it because, like in Texas, there's Texas A&M and University of Texas.
Yeah,
and there's a bit of a rivalry, I think, but I don't know. It always tickles me because I'm just like I never went to either university, so I'm like I don't really fucking know. I don't really care, and I always get tickled when Auburn and Alabama fans start going at it. I'm like, it's a goddamn university. Half of y'all didn't even go to those schools.
It's real. When you're a kid, that stuff. People pick.
Yeah,
Yes.
And your family, and then you have divides.
Yeah,
I mean that stuff's real. That stuff goes back to I remember in elementary school, kid arguing all the time.
Oh yeah,
and of course I was part of because I'm on the Auburn side, and then there was some contest at school every year that involved the Auburn-Alabama rivalry, and I forget how it worked. But
it's so many something or another's. I think the kids did it this year, and you had to pick tops from bottles.
That's right. Yeah,
something like that. And the most tops got like a pizza party if they won, and it was for just all the Auburn fans and all the Alabama fans.
Yep. So 3 years in law school, was it pretty much straight from undergrad to law school?
Yes. And then went to law school, met my wife at law school,
Is she a lawyer also?
She is. She's got a degree. She's barred, but she works in a different. She didn't end up practicing.
Oh, okay.
So, but she's got a great career in another field, and she's doing great. And I'm happy that she's
happy.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, she's got a great job, so it takes. Yeah, I hope she. I'd love for her to just climb the ladder, the corporate ladder, and then I can just stay at home and write and barbecue.
There you go. Yeah. And get your books out and things like that.
But there and then South Florida for a few years.
Why'd you go down there?
For a job. I was a public defender down there.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And so she just followed you?
Or yeah.
I mean, I didn't know if you I know you said you met your wife.
We were already married at that point.
Okay. Because you can meet your wife there, but then not get together until later on.
We were already married.
Gotcha.
Did y'all get married in law school or just right after?
We did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, third year, March of that year, and
so you just knew.
Yeah, I did. We were together for about a year and a half, and it was. I mean, I was young, I was 4 or 5, but.
Oh God, that's so.
Not really.
It being in my late 40s, the idea of one of my kids marrying and they're like 25, I was like, God, that's so.
The
young.
idea of it now, looking back, if
one
of my kids walked into that, it's like, you need to wait, like you need to kind of figure out who you are, like
live together a little bit, see if you like each other.
No, we really.
But I mean, if you know, you know. I mean,
well, but I mean, it's like I don't know if a 25-year-old knows a lot of things, but it's like doesn't mean they actually know anything.
We're both. My wife and I are both very stubborn,
and they're both lawyers, so the divorce would be like that, you know.
But I mean, that in a sense, we both.
Yeah.
We did both believe in it, and we really did. We were best friends in law, so we talking movies. We went to more movies than I can.
That's awesome.
Even remember at this point.
See, that's fine. Get married.
Well, I mean, I will say, my kids are like both high school dropouts, so it's a bit different. If my kid was like finish up third year of law school, I'd be like, okay, I think I can trust your judgment enough.
Right.
We moved to Florida for about 4 years, and then moved back here, and I've just been practicing here since.
So when y'all first got married, did y'all even start? When did y'all start discussing having kids?
Or did you? Or was it just a happy
No, we knew.
accident?
I mean, we wanted kids, and pretty early on.
Oh, was it?
The answer there.
I don't know. Like the trend nowadays is like people are like, I don't want kids, and I can kind of understand just because like as much as I love my kids, it's probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, I think it's one of those things.
Well, I mean, I think that's like one of the first, maybe 5th date. Do you want kids? And if they say no and you say yes, then just go.
Yeah, we were.
Because you're never going to change their mind.
Yep.
And then it comes to the point where, oh, I'm on the pill and now we're pregnant. Well, I didn't want kids, and so bye. You know, it's...
Yeah.
I'm not saying that happens to everybody, but I think that's a very early on discussion.
For people who are not focused, but
straight.
No, I was gonna say people who are like, I think like JB's and his wife's situation is different from like my kids, where it's just like they just kind of exist and do whatever and like deal with the consequences. You two seem very thoughtful and like plan things out and like. I mean,
I appreciate that. I don't know.
Well, I guess how long after y'all got married did y'all have Jay?
Jay, so we were married in March, and then he was born the next January.
Oh wow!
So not long.
Was he born in Florida or was he born?
He was born in Florida.
Yeah. And what part of Florida were you in?
West Palm. So Palm Beach County.
So that's nice.
Wow. Oh yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
South Florida, and obviously South Florida and North Florida are two different.
Yeah.
Because North Florida, you're still pretty. I feel like you're still in Georgia, Alabama.
Yeah, it's
right.
It's the dirty South, and Florida is pretty much just
West Palm,
Cuba.
Yeah.
And at the age I was at, and having really only lived in Alabama, getting down there and just being exposed, it's such a melting pot. You know, when you're checking out in Publix, you hear multiple dialects of Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
I heard I'd hear Spanish, I'd hear Russian, I'd hear, just normal,
Yeah.
That's
English.
awesome.
And it really, the access to so many different types of cultures too was so cool to me. It was just, it's like there was always something to do and somewhere to go and another town to explore. There's so many little towns down there.
That's
and
awesome.
I mean, we were limited in way. Obviously, we had young kid, but
About
so we
an
couldn't
infant.
just
Yeah.
cut loose or anything. But
Right.
I really liked it down there, but ultimately we moved back.
So Jay was born in Florida. Then you moved back to Huntsville. Was it?
B was born in Florida too.
Oh, B was
okay.
born in
She
Florida.
was, yeah.
So Jay and B were born in Florida. Okay.
Because y'all were down there 5 years, you said?
It's like 4.5.
4.5? Okay.
Okay.
Between
All
4
right.
and 5.
All right.
Did y'all
so
just start to realize that you needed to have more
You-
family support, or?
you didn't
Yeah,
like
if-
Florida no more, and you wanted to be back to your roots?
I think if it had just been her and
It would have been
I
okay.
think we probably would have stayed.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just hard. I mean, y'all know it's
Oh, yeah.
having young. It was just us, and that's tough.
Can't have a date night because you don't
Sure.
really trust nobody, and you don't have grandma or grandpa to watch because growing. I mean, you can hire
Help.
a babysitter, but it's not like back in the day where, like, my mom, I was the babysitter of, like, I was 11 and I babysat like 2, 4, 6-year-olds because that's just the way things are.
Yeah.
We're gonna go out bowling and you take care of the kids.
We looked at because there were services and things like that.
Yeah.
And it was just hard because you didn't know what was what.
And it's hard to trust
And
with
but-
your babies.
exactly.
Yeah.
When family would come visit, it was gold because
Right.
Yeah.
they would help us out and we could go out and do something. But ultimately, we moved back for a lot of reasons, but having more was certainly one of them.
Yeah. Is your wife from Huntsville? Can we say that?
No, she's from Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
But that's even closer, though. Tennessee,
Yeah.
it's the next state over. So
we're in proximity to all our,
That's good.
pretty much all our relatives at
Good.
this point, and
helps.
it does help. But now my kids are honestly old enough now where they can
Hyper focus on a tablet or TV.
when they can hang at the
and
house.
Yeah.
Jack's 13, or Jay's 13. Sorry, edit that too.
Edit Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Jay's 13, B's 11, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, at that point, they're just hyper focusing on TikTok or TV or any game system, and they also play instruments.
Yes.
Because Kalia spent the night there a couple of times and was telling me about their band, and
Yeah.
she was
Well-
wicked excited about said band.
Mr. JB is you're not professional. You're in a band, aren't you?
Yeah, I play in a band,
Yeah.
and
He's a professional musician.
Yeah.
Possible Machines are our name.
Do you
and-
want to say that? There
What's
might to link to.
Do you want me to edit that one out?
You want to edit your Impossible Machines?
Yeah, I guess so. I
Or
can't
JB?
remember if I've ever. See, this is the pen name
It's
thing.
okay.
No,
It's
no,
just-
no. That's why we're asking because
Yeah,
we can,
don't worry.
you know,
No,
we start
I'll-
off.
I'll just go through and be like,
Yeah.
you'll hear a beep.
And I'll just, I play in a band and been playing drums since I think I was 12.
And Jay plays the drums, right? Or is
Jay
it
plays
Kay?
trumpet,
Okay.
and B is learning guitar right now.
That's
We
awesome.
go to guitar together.
And Kalia does the drums when she's over there.
We've got 2 sets. I've still got my old set that I got for Christmas when I was 15.
Oh, wow.
I just can't bear to part with it. Actually, it's still in really good shape and sounds pretty
There
good.
you go.
And they play that one out in, I guess, the playroom area.
Yeah.
And then I have the band room where me and my friends play, and finally got a new drum set. I put that same drum set until maybe just like 3 years ago.
Wow.
Just
Wow.
20
That's
years
a
old.
really good drum set from 15 to.
I still have some of the hardware
40-ish.
on my current set from that set. My hi-hat stand, I've got to replace it. It's still the one I got when I was 15.
Wow.
Wow.
It's in rough shape.
Do you have to replace like the drum membrane every now and then?
Yeah, so if we're going through a period, because it ebbs and flows, because the guys in the band, everybody's married, kids, jobs.
Yeah.
So we go through.
It's the summer of '69 all over again.
Yeah, it ebbs and flows. But we're going through periods where we're playing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Then I do have to replace them. And I usually, if we go out and gig, which doesn't happen anymore, since we've been a band, happen all that often. But I'll try to replace them before we go play, just so. Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Is it called the membrane, or is it?
It's a drum head.
Drum head. Okay.
And
I was going to ask what a membrane was,
Well,
but I didn't want to
part of
interrupt.
Strike, I was pretty sure you replaced that.
Yeah, if
somewhat
you were in
regularly.
a touring band, I'm sure they replace them more often than I can.
Yeah.
But everything related to drums is expensive.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Well,
And
anything
loud.
related to any musical instrument is
That's-
expensive.
That's what I recently, my daughter and I, we go to guitar lessons together because I've always wanted to try to learn guitar. And my wife was nice enough to let me buy a really nice guitar for my 40th birthday.
Nice.
Which, I'm by no means a guitar player, but I'm trying to learn.
My dad.
I have a problem with the strum.
It's hard.
I can get the notes, like I can figure out that, but then I don't know how fast to strum, and that's my problem, is the strumming part of it.
My problem is I got like my hands
Itty bitty.
but what's cool about having been a drummer for so long and helps me with the guitar is the rhythm part of it. It's baked in.
It's ingrained.
I'm trying to learn. Like right now, our guitar teacher's got us learning "Rooster" by Alice in Chains, which is still one of my favorite bands. And so I know.
You know
songs.
how it is in the
So
head.
even if I can't quite get the bar chord right, I know.
Yeah, you know the rhythm.
The
cadence
drum, yeah.
And because sometimes my daughter will look, how did you get that? It's like, well, it's not fair. I've heard this song
Yeah,
millions of times,
Yeah.
and it's brand new to you.
Yeah.
But we are. My wife doesn't.
Maybe she should be the singer or the triangle player.
She
Because that one's the easiest one. Ding.
spends her. She likes to read. That's her.
There you go.
That's her.
So she reads, hopefully in a quiet room while y'all go jam out.
She's the quiet support. She's
There you go.
And
Good job.
she's always been very understanding of my 'cause
Love for music.
Oh yeah, I've just been obsessed since I.
And it seems like you've passed it down to B&J, so that's awesome.
And what's cool, what I like about both of their approaches, or I guess how they interact with music, however you want to say it, they don't just like what I like because
Right.
I like it.
Yeah.
Which I wish they would embrace some more of the stuff I show them, but it's usually like,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't think that's going to change.
But once I
It's
show it
just-
to them, it's not cool.
Yeah.
So
Well, I will say I picked up B one time with Kalia, and I was like, B, you're the guest. What would you like to listen to? And she's like, I like to listen to, I think it was Weezer. And I was
she
like,
likes Weezer a lot.
I was like, come on, Gen X, old white man music.
Her and my wife went to the Weezer concert together, and they had a great time. And actually, one of the songs we learned in guitar was a Weezer song.
That's so
We
funny.
learned Hash Pipe.
Oh, that's a
awesome.
good one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't play it that well, but we learned it.
I got Kalia into piano lessons one time, and I wish she took to music like she takes a drawing, because that girl just like, if she doesn't have TV, if I punish her by taking away her TV or tablet or anything, she'd just draw for hours
Yeah.
and could be fine. But when we started doing music lessons, she would get so flustered and she would cry in front, like she would break out in tears with me.
It's tough.
And she would have panic attacks with her teacher, and I was like, okay, this is too much. I'm like, you're not a musician, that is fine. But I was like, I can't handle like you breaking down in front of your teacher and flipping out with me. So
I kept playing drums, but I went to lessons it was a handful of weeks when I was first playing, because my cousin played drums too, and our moms got us, I guess, like a package deal so we go to lessons at the same time. And I remember really not liking it and like feeling nervous and just not him wanting me to play it a certain way or do things a certain way. And I felt like, well, this is of course I didn't think about it since I was a kid, but like, well, this is my outlet, and this is how like I want to be artistic in my way, not necessarily the way you want it to be.
yeah.
And I was just getting really frustrated and didn't like it. And my mom let me stop going, which was not normal. Usually if I started like
You
a
had to
sport,
finish?
we had to finish, because I played soccer and baseball and stuff growing up. And if we started the season, we had to finish the season. That was the rule. But then after that, if you don't want to do it again, that's fine.
Yeah, that's how we were with Kalia. She's like, I want to try it. I'm like, you can try it. And you have to finish out what you started, but you can stop afterwards.
Yeah.
Music lessons, I guess, is because those potentially can go on forever.
Yeah,
so
you can stop anytime you want.
She let me, and so I just kept playing, and it was really frustrating. I was just really bad for a long time, but I just kept listening to music and not saying I just kept going, and really when I was playing in bands in college, that was a turning point because I stopped trying to make everything so complicated and started
just having fun with it a little bit more.
Yeah,
so.
And just embracing more, because that was during the era that big indie rock wave in the early aughts, like Strokes and Interpol, and Interpol's got a great drummer, but just some bands that were really breaking it down to its, like rock down to its most basic elements. And so I started in the band I was in just playing simpler drum parts. Like in particular, just ripping off Taylor Hawkins from Foo Fighters, who's a great drummer, and R.I.P.
There you go.
And
he was the blonde guy, right?
Yeah, amazing drummer. And once I did that, once I started trying to
not be a perfectionist in a way,
drummers that were keeping it more simple and serving the song, kind of had this breakthrough, and my playing got better. But to this day, like not being actually trained, it does have its limitations because I can't read music. I can't.
Have you thought about taking lessons now?
Nah, at this point I'm just too if you're playing drums still, I was like an old dog. But now with guitar, I feel like I'm kind of trying to do it the right way. We're going to lessons, but with drums,
they can teach you how to read music and guitar, and that can correlate to reading music and drums.
Well, I think with guitar, we're not really learning how to read music.
Oh,
we're learning tabs. So I don't know,
like the chords and okay, never mind.
I will say, I've been in choirs my whole life, but I cannot read music to sing for the life of me. But I've taken piano lessons a few times, and I guess I can get that one because it's very like, here's a key and this is the note you're playing, and so like that one. But like I've tried to do guitars a few times, and I like guitar. I don't like guitars very much. Just, because my fingers are hurting, but like
you got calluses trying to press down.
But what I will say is, one of the things that's available to kids that I didn't have was YouTube, and so I've learned just myself in my 30s. I've learned more in that span on drums because I was able to just watch free videos.
Watch like tutorials,
I did, 15 years prior, because I could just watch guys I liked break stuff down, or even see drummers I like playing live when they have their drum cams, and like for years not understanding how they did a particular fill, and then getting to see them do it. Then I was like,
oh, that's how he did it.
Yeah, it's like Danny Carey from Tool. There's some of his fills have like mystified me for years, and then now there's videos of him playing those songs. So, that's how he does it. I still can't do it, but that's how he does it.
Kalia has turned herself into a really good sketch artist, and it's all like she does the framing and the circles with the cross hatching, and all from YouTube.
Yep. And when she was doing piano, they had an iPad that had the notes, so you would just have to follow the iPad.
That's cool.
And so like that's wicked awesome, because that's not what we had when we were kids.
No. And Bea does the same. She loves art. She loves drawing, sketching, painting.
I don't have that artistic side.
I don't. I can write, but I don't. Drawing, the visual aspect of it, I never.
I can do it.
Santa would have 15 fingers because, that's my drawing. Yeah.
I can draw a little bit, but it's like I don't enjoy it to the point where I find it monotonous after a while. Yeah. So and I don't know. When you were talking about why you became a lawyer, it's like I come from engineers, so it's just like it was built into me because like we were always problem solving and building shit. So I'm just like, and that's how like the hobbies I like. It's like if I can make something, if I can give it away, that's the kind of hobby I want to do. So like I like sewing, I like building things.
It just takes them about 15 years to
sure does.
do some of the projects, but he gets to them eventually.
Oh, I've got a whole room full of shit that's half started. I've got 3 quilts I got to finish, but it's okay.
He'll get to them.
Maybe.
I have Peter Pan syndrome, so I never knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. And my brother, I was 18 when my brother was born. So, huge difference. Yeah.
It is.
And when he turned 18 and he wanted to go to Calhoun to go to school, he asked me if I would take him. And I was like, you know what? Sure. And then I ended up enrolling at Calhoun. Because I was like, it's been 8 years since I went to school. Because that's when I graduated high school in 99.
Yeah.
That's when he was born. So I was like, I'll do it too. I'll do it with you. Let's do it. Well, of course, he was a lot faster at it because I'm full-time job and then I adopt a child. So I'm down to like one class a semester, which I paid for every single semester out of pocket. So that way I had no student debt. And I ended up, last May would have been my like graduation. I, quote unquote, because I didn't walk the stage or anything. But I got the paper in the mail and then I got 2 distinctions. One in business and one in general studies.
Oh, cool.
So that was for work because I've been at my job for 19 years.
Same job?
Yep.
Good for you.
Because again, Peter Pan syndrome. I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I found some place that I knew how to do it, and I'm doing it. But like, I could retire in 11 years, and I would be 55. So then I just need to figure out what I want to be. I need to get out of the Peter Pan syndrome and, figure it out. But you got to, get your, some people just don't know. Like, they want you at 18. Okay, I want to be this. I grew up wanting to be a veterinarian. And then I was like, well, veterinarians see sick animals, or they give them shots, or they euthanize them, and I'm like, fuck a bunch of that shit. I don't want nothing to do with that. And then I was like, ooh, I'll be a zookeeper. Like, I'll work at the zoo, and I'll specialize in big cats because I love dogs, but like, I want to like feed the baby, jaguar or lion, or I want to be that. And then I looked at what they pay, and I'm like,
you could have been the next Tiger Queen.
I don't know if I could survive. But see, I would not want them to have.
That was a joke, Jay.
I know, but I'm a huge animal lover, and so I was like, I'll do that. But then there's not that many zoos, and then to try to get a job inside with my degree, it would be so hard.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I just won't go to college because I just helped my mom raise my brother for a couple of years. And then I was like, oh, I'll just work. Because I've been working since I was 14 on like part-time jobs. And then I just got a full-time job, moved in with some friends. We paid bills. We had fun. And now I'm 44 and I'm like, what am I going to be when I grow up? I'm already grown up technically, but in my brain, I'm still who I am. So what I really want is to do something where I can travel and remote work. So like I can work through the day and then go explore at night and on weekends and then just go and just travel everywhere.
You'd be a pilot.
I don't want to drive anything. I want to just ride.
I would say a flight attendant, but I know you don't want to work in customer service.
No more customer service.
Well, let's, I was going to say, so part of the reason you actually, when we started talking to you about coming on the podcast, you were like, oh, that'd be awesome because your publisher or so you said someone wanted you to come on podcasts, right?
Yeah.
Your agent?
No, I don't. I wish I had a literary agent, but no, the small publishing house that published my book, Slay House, they just encouraged us to try to promote the book. I mean, social media, obviously.
Yeah.
That's how everything gets promoted now. But to an extent, I've, I guess, reluctantly embraced it because I wasn't really on any social media until
you got published, or?
Yeah, or I had not been in years, I should say.
Oh, okay.
And
was that by choice, or was that just?
Yeah, I still like it. Like, I've gotten to where like I do like Instagram and I like TikTok because I can
post anything, or
I did for a while. I'll post stuff related to writing, pretty much. Writing or books is really all I post if I do post. I haven't posted in a long time. But the novel, Black Echoes, it was published 2 or 3 years ago now, I think. And it's a mashup of a crime thriller and a horror novel. And it's for fans of people that like authors like S.A. Cosby, Dennis Lehane, Stephen King. The list could go on from there. But if you like a gritty crime novel, but you like a heavy dose of horror in there.
Okay.
But I guess the two main themes of the book are, at heart, it's a father-son story, which is the brighter aspect of it. But then the darker aspect of it is
they're killers.
There is a vicious killer in it, the black-eyed man.
I know the father and the son of the killers.
No. But they both are. It's about addiction. So if that's something that upsets you, you would certainly not want to read this book. But addiction, particularly substance abuse, is one of the. It is like the prevailing theme of the novel. Addiction in general is probably the central theme of the novel, but it's the father-son story is how the vehicle, I guess you could say.
So how long did you work on the book for, like before you got it published?
Well, there was a book I wrote before that I shelved because my mom had a good reaction to it, and a couple of friends of mine did, but ultimately, I trust my wife did not. She let me down easy.
Oh, okay.
And I say it in the acknowledgement I wrote, where I could tell she did not think much of it. And she's been reading prodigiously since she was a kid. She's read far more books than I'll ever read my whole life. She's a really fast reader, which is always frustrating because I read slow. I was like, how did you finish that?
Well, you just don't have time. You're working. That's what we're going to say.
She is too. She's still going through books.
No, but I'm just saying, like the length of time doesn't really matter of how fast, you read. It's just.
Well, I will say my best friend Feej, like, he was like, "Oh, I'm setting myself a challenge of reading 100 books this year." And I'm like, I can, if it's a fast-paced book, I can read pretty quickly. Yeah. But some like, if I try to reread something like A Song of Ice and Fire, it's like,
those are great.
They're great, but like,
but don't get me started on the.
Like, I have to take breaks.
Was that
that's Game of
Thrones?
But
I was good with all of the Game of Thrones.
I had to I didn't listen to them I actually read them, and I
actually read them too, sir.
I had to take breaks between each chapter because I got they were so dense, and then it was like after each chapter, I was like, I'm tired.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's fantasy, but those are dark.
Yeah,
and there's some really rough scenes in them.
And even more rough than there is in like what they showed on TV.
Yeah.
I mean, they did an okay job just because you can only do so, much. But
yeah,
God, some of that stuff you're just like, okay, I have to take a break just because that was just too much.
Yeah. I enjoyed reading. I wish we could get Wins a Winner. Which I think that's what the sixth one would be entitled, and there's supposed to be a seventh one. We'll see, but. Bring it back. I could tell, and I felt it that I'd missed the mark, but it was my first time trying it. And it was just kind of a mess, and I was trying to be literary, like I was trying to.
Do pretty prose. Too hard?
Yeah, I was trying too hard, and it was just some of the. I was trying to make things very. Like floral, and I wanted to be this, I don't know.
The next Hemingway.
Yeah, like Faulkner or something.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't, it's just not me. That wasn't working, and you could tell. And so even with that novel, I learned to just be more plain and just, say what I needed to say. And I still.
And be yourself, because that's going to be the more authentic way of doing it for your readers. And so, to understand who you are and what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right?
And so when I started Black Echoes, I just had 3 ideas.
What did you say?
Black Echoes.
Black Echoes. Okay, that's the name of your book.
And I just had the idea for the villain, the black-eyed man, which is...
Why you gotta be black? I'm just kidding. It's
black-eyed man.
It is a running joke in this. In my life, that anytime someone says,
black,
it's like, why I gotta be black?
But which was grew out of, there's this lore around black-eyed children. And I had heard one of my favorite podcasts is Astonishing Legends, and it's about these black-eyed kids that show up in random places, sometimes at your door, and ask to be let in, and just make odd requests.
And you're just
but odd in the sense, like, have they not spoken? That's not even how a kid would talk if they spoke
Uncanny
alien.
Valley.
Yeah, something's off, and just something about black eyes, just total black.
Creepy.
It freaks me out. And so I had the idea to make him an adult. And I had the villain, and then I just had the opening scene in the book, which is basically a home robbing a drug dealer. Is how the book opens. A group of people in various stages of addiction trying to pull off this robbery, and I'm not really giving anything away. You can feel from the beginning, like, this is just not kind of Tarantino-esque. Like, this. Oh yeah. This is just not gonna go well, and. Because they're all a mess, their lives are just. So I had that. I had the villain, and then I had Hank Grant, who's the main protagonist of the novel, who's a metal drummer. So I didn't have to try to go to more stuff for now.
Stretched too far for that one.
And just him sitting down he's on the verge of being kicked out of his band because a couple of guys in the band don't think he's proficient enough, and he's really struggling with the metronome in the studio, which I can relate to because I struggle with the metronome because I didn't grow up practicing with one. I still don't practice with one, and then sometimes people want you to play to a metronome, and it gives me a really hard time. So that I just had those 3 ideas, and I thought they were 3 separate stories, and it's like, well, no, what if they're all just the same story? And it took me about 6 months to write the first manuscript, which was
not bad.
Well, I sat down.
6 months is a pretty.
But that
good
first
time.
one had taken me years, and I knew, like, I kind of knew I felt like I knew where, like, I was messing up, and so I just decided to write. I'm gonna try to write as many words as I can. I'm gonna get up in the morning, and I'm just gonna write till I can, and I did that 5 days a week, or maybe 6 or 7 days and at the time
How old were J and B, can we say?
I was about to say that was... It came out 3 years ago. So
I think I wrote it I want to say I wrote it in 2018.
Oh, so right before the pandemic?
I wrote it before the pandemic. I know that.
Oh, wow.
But it didn't... I forget why it didn't get... But it obviously got rejected a lot because anybody that writes knows you get my...
Yeah, we more no's than yeses in those situations.
We have a friend who's a English professor here at UAH, University of Alabama in Huntsville, and he's written a book, and he's like trying to get it published too, and he's like, it's so hard.
It's tough. It's really hard. Anybody that's able to get a book published you're doing a great job. It's just really, even because mine is an independent publisher. And even getting a smaller indie publisher to pick up your book.
I will say I'm impressed that you wrote this, because that would have been put J&B around like 5 and 7. Because if it was 18, so about 7 years ago.
So many questions about the past.
4 and 6, but that's like being able to find the time to do it when you have like kids that age.
I just try. I do, like, I am a morning person, so I can. I was just getting up before everybody and drinking lots of coffee.
I was going to say you were going to drink something else. Yeah. I was like, what was we drinking?
What are you drinking at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Lots of coffee.
Drinking some beers.
And got hooked on coffee in law school, and that's never stopped.
Change.
But just drinking a lot of coffee, and I think at the time too, I still get to play in a band, but I think one of the reasons I was just trying to write a lot too is that I didn't feel like I really had an artistic outlet.
Yeah.
Because I think and I have a stressful job, so I think it was just it's therapeutic in a way, just sitting down. And a lot of times what I'm writing is most of what comes out or not most, but a lot of what comes out just gets
trashed. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I was like, that is what I love creating stuff. Like I have like that creative outlet desire is strong within me too, but like writing is one of the hardest things.
With this one.
Oh shush! Writing is one of the hardest things I find to force myself to. Like I've been complimented when I've submitted stuff, but it's like that process of like sitting down and writing is so hard because I've been trying to do comedy for like probably over 2 years now. Like, and I have stops and starts where I'm like,
I'd say 3 with Edna.
You're talking about the drag character?
Yeah.
No, well, yeah, but like I took stand-up comedy classes about 2 years ago, and like if I can do it for someone else, like if I have an assignment, easy. But if
that's hard.
Yeah. He has me.
Oh, I can't
easy.
do it. I've got some friends that do it, and one of my friends is brilliant. He's getting into it, and I'm in awe of anybody that can do stand-up comedy because I just feel like it's. And I'm not trying to make it seem more, but it just seems incredibly hard.
Well, you're in front of a group of strangers saying stuff, and you don't know if they're gonna find it as funny as what you thought that it was funny.
And it's like when I get a rejection, like say when I submit Black Eyes, it's an email.
Yeah,
I'm still in my house. Like it's I guess similar to playing live music. When you mess up, everybody. But I like that, like playing in rock and metal bands. Like even when we screw up, there's so much noise.
Yeah,
and we're not a popular band, so people don't even know. A lot of times we've messed up. But stand up, it's tough because like if you bomb,
I don't. Admittedly, I've only done like 5-minute sets.
Yeah,
and I don't.
It's still you're doing good, baby. You're doing good.
But I was like, anytime even if I don't get laughs, to me it's more like acting to me. It's like, okay, I may have gotten laughed, but I gotten performed, and I don't really find it like daunting to like not get a laugh. But the writing process, that discipline is so hard to me because I can't. I'm like, I'd much rather do something else than write. But
let me go play my game.
Yeah,
I'd much rather go play a game.
Let me go play my game.
Make something. Yeah,
you should be proud of yourself for putting yourself out there like that. I mean, just doing it that's achievement in itself.
Well,
I'll have to work on that next.
Yeah.
Right now, it's me making him answer emails. Next is going to be Miss Edna Nelda, because he wants to portray a drag queen.
Yeah,
that's kind of based off of his aunts. So like an older drag queen that is raunchy, and because he has a lot of like funny, raunchy stories, and it's even funnier coming from a woman, quote unquote, because he'll be in drag, but he's good at shocking people.
Yeah, that's true.
And so sometimes the audience doesn't know what to do with that, because like you get shocked, you're like, oh my god, she just said that, and then it takes a second, and then they start laughing.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh, that was, way too over. So he's working on that. Yeah. And I will get to that
Anthony
next.
Jeselnik.
Yeah, I love
he does.
Yeah, I love his. Have you ever heard of Dame Edna Everage? She was a British drag queen, comedian. Anyway, doesn't matter. But I was gonna. We're getting a little long on time, so I wanted to.
Sorry, I feel like I'm dragging us.
No, that's not you. That's not you.
This is like, and honestly, like by the time I take out the pauses, like it'll have shrunk it by 15 minutes anyway. I was gonna say though, so my granddaughter that we have custody of is 11. Your daughter B is 11. What are your I am not looking forward to middle school at all. Since your son Jay is already in the middle of it, how has his middle school experience been? And are you worried about B at all?
I'm not worried about B. I am worried. I mean,
yeah,
you're always going to worry about your kids.
But
yes,
I
think she has a good head to hold on her shoulders.
And she has a natural confidence to her that it doesn't mean she's still like any kid. Going to school's tough.
Yeah.
Say things happen. But I feel like she's just got this innate confidence that serves her really well, and she doesn't scare easy, and I feel like and more like I'm there if she needs me, but she's pretty self-sufficient.
Yeah.
And then Jay's experience, because he got in the band, I feel like him joining the band was a big turning point.
Yeah.
He found his tribe.
He found his people. His best buddy plays trombone with him.
That works.
And so I feel like that was a big... And he's had good experiences in school, but I feel like that has really set him on a... I don't want to say path kind of lane, but he's had a really good experience. But I feel like the band is where the good experience grew from.
Helped.
Yeah. Finding your group, especially at that age, is
he found his spot. So that's really... I'm happy for him.
Yeah, my son found his spot, and it was not in a good spot at the junior high school. Because I had him, because he's zoned for Chapman at my house.
Yeah.
So I did the minority to majority transfer. It's called M to M here in Huntsville, and so did Jason. And because we were zoned for Martin Luther King Elementary Junior. I don't know if you know where that is. But the thing is that they didn't have an after school. So he had to ride the bus for almost 3 hours to drop off all the kids just to go to Chapman for after school. And he has ADHD. So to put a kid on a bus with nothing to do, with ADHD, not a good combination. I have ADHD. You put me on a bus, if I don't have my phone, I'm going to go. I mean, I'm 44 and I can control myself. But that would get me, So I did that to Blossomwood, and then COVID hit right after.
Yeah.
But after school was, you walk in, and that was perfect for what I wanted for him, not to have to ride a bus. And then in 6th grade, they were like, oh, we're not doing it no more. You paid $50 to have him registered. That's gone. You got to find someone now to take him. And I'm like, fuck, why didn't y'all tell me this before? Because they stopped doing after school for 6th grade.
That's right.
At Blossom.
That's right.
And so I found Boys and Girls Club, so they picked him up and dropped him off. Luckily, the bus ride wasn't as long, but he would still get in trouble on the bus. I'm just like, good Lord. So he got to smoking vapes and bathrooms and fighting, and that middle school for him was not a good middle school for him. So he technically would go to Huntsville High if I kept the M to M. Yeah. But I live close to Lee, so I just like the last 17 days of his school year was truancy. He didn't go to school, so Lee he could walk to. You go. I'll let the truancy officer know if you left because I have cameras in my house. That's it. That's where I am right now. But it's just. I think it's a different middle school if you don't get into the right groups. Like Jay sounds like he's gotten into the right group. And hopefully B will get into the right group. But Kalia won't be there, right?
Well, we're zoned for Huntsville Middle, but I don't know. I'm a little bit hesitant to, for some reason, I understand why... JB, why you're zoned for Huntsville Middle, but we are not. Technically, we should be going to Morris, or we should go to Morris because that's closer. But we're zoned for Huntsville Middle, and we're pretty far away. But I'm thinking I might transfer out to Whitesburg, just because it's.
I guess because I went to Huntsville Middle School.
Yeah.
And.
I kept saying middle. I meant junior high because they changed it for some reason.
Yeah, I feel like I'm
whatever.
Maybe not given enough information. Or I just... Jay, he's had a good experience. So I don't... Yeah. I mean, it's still junior high, not middle school. I know there's stuff that happens at school, fights and stuff. But I feel like...
Middle school's the hardest.
It is. But
that's what I feel like.
It is hard. I remember that was when people really started... the gossip kicks in, and people find really creative ways to be mean to each other.
Yep.
That just, in elementary school, it's more, I feel like, playground, it's like physical, like you're running, and but the word barbs aren't there yet. And I feel like in middle school is when people really started figuring out how to say just like really mean stuff.
I was about to say, Kalia will talk at us at length about just all the barbs
because
and crazy crap the girls will say.
My it's not the best, but
none of ours are. Welcome to the 40s.
I'm sure that stuff was happening in elementary school too, but with the
I think it's probably
I'm sounding like an old man with the internet and YouTube. I feel like their IQ on that stuff is so much higher.
Oh
yeah.
And
I think it kind of ruined them for a little bit. Like they don't have the experience of imagination. Like we had to go out until the streetlights came on and figure shit out. You had to imagine something.
That's and one of the things I miss the most while we're on this subject is, do you remember in your group of friends where you get in an argument about, we've been talking movies, like what actor was in this movie, but because it's 1996, it can't be resolved.
Yep.
Encyclopedia. Let's go to the encyclopedia.
So you just end up in this stalemate. And there were so many of those stalemates with me and my friends, and you couldn't resolve it, and now you just Google it. But I love all those unresolved disputes about, who won a game, who was in a movie.
Yep.
What
a song lyric was? Like song lyrics.
Oh,
when
God.
you could look up, you can look up song lyrics.
Yeah.
Unless you bought the CD.
Yeah, and
then the case, you had to take the paper out of the case, and sometimes they had the song lyrics in the paper.
And sometimes they didn't. And
sometimes they didn't.
You just couldn't resolve the...
Yep.
I miss that, but...
Yep.
They have access to... I can't imagine.
Too much.
Well, I can't imagine being able to watch something on demand as a kid. If I could watch my favorite show or movie, I probably wouldn't leave the house.
Are any plans for another novel?
Oh, no, I've been writing. I've written... My plan would be to hopefully get one published, but I've written... 2 more are finished. One I decided it's finished, but I'm gonna... For the most... It's finished, but I decided I think I want to make parts of the story a little more... Kind of, we were talking Dark Knight earlier, a little more rooted.
Okay.
Do you want to add more to it? Is that what...
Just take it out, maybe less out of the supernatural and into just something that...
More
just making the story simpler. So
I got you.
But then I'm editing a story I wrote last summer or the summer before that I'm editing right now. So when I'm done with it, I'll basically have 3 that hopefully I'll be able to get one of them published. There's been some of them, 2 of them are still under consideration, but you have to kind of hurry up and wait. Like even when somebody will respond and say, "Hey, I'd like to read the whole manuscript."
Right.
Sometimes I never hear back from people.
That sucks, because then you don't know what the...
Because I've had
maybe
publishers
they're just busy and they
indie
don't...
publishers respond, "Hey, can we see the full manuscript?" And I'll send it, and then sometimes I hear back and it's no. Then sometimes I don't hear back.
Yeah.
And even when I email to follow up, that doesn't get responded to.
Well...
But I do have 2 short stories that are coming out in collections in the fall.
Nice.
In collections?
Yeah, so one is in this...
No, what's collections?
like an anthology.
It's like a bunch of short stories published into one book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, I was thinking it was a magazine or something. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's so got one coming out in this anthology called Little Red Flags, which is being published by Dark Ink or Dark Matter Ink.
Okay.
I think it is, and which is available online, but I don't think they've announced the final cover. And then I've got another story called, the one, I should have said, the one in the Dark Matter one is Simple Loyalty. It's kind of a cult revenge story. And I think all the anthology has, it's all female protagonists, kind of in the style
yeah, women are badasses. That's the way it should be.
Gone Girl.
Sorry, can I say that?
Oh, yeah, cool.
Okay.
Gone Girl kind of vibe, and then...
No, not Gone Girl.
Well, that's
messed up.
That's kind of the vibe of the anthology.
No, okay.
And the other one is a kind of road trip cryptid horror story that's coming out.
Very cool.
Cryptid?
Yeah.
Like the Chupacabra kind of cryptid?
Yeah, well, this one's kind of inspired by the Mothman.
Ooh.
Very cool.
I listened to a lot of true crimes that talk about cryptids, so I kind of know a little bit about
the Mothman, that one's fascinating.
Yeah,
for a long
definitely.
time. And it's in Slay House, the one that published Black Echoes. It's in their annual horror anthology that always comes out around Halloween.
That's
so
cool.
Any advice for any of our... Actually, I need to get Kalia to speak to you because she's... Every week she's like, I'm writing a book. And then she's written 2 pages. It's my first chapter. And then the next chapter is another 2 pages. So I'm always proud of her. I haven't read any of it because she won't let me read it, really.
Yeah,
but,
she just shows us, like, from a distance.
Yeah.
But any advice for aspiring authors out there?
Well, I don't know if I'm really in a position to be getting too much advice.
Keep at it. Don't stop. Maybe.
I guess if I had...
You do.
Well, maybe what you said earlier is, I think what really helped me was, and I still go through bouts of it, trying not to be another author and realizing there's some things I'm just not going to be able to.
Okay.
Like, I'm not going to be able to string a sentence together like Cormac McCarthy can. I just don't, my brain doesn't work that way.
You're you.
And one of the writers the writer that helped me with that was Stephen King, because Stephen King's prose is it's accessible, it's straightforward. You always know what he's talking about. Even if it's something you're not interested in necessarily, like, you know what's happening, what's going on.
Right.
And
he just talks like he writes like he talks.
Yeah.
So if you see an interview and he's talking, that's kind of how you read it. There's no like, let me put a big word here, or let me talk about the trees and the brown leaves falling off. I don't like descriptive. That's me. Yeah. He doesn't really do too much descriptive.
No,
And so that's how I think about it. I love Stephen King. I read it. I read
it's great.
The Stand. I read The Stand on paper book.
Hey, there's an anthology of a bunch of horror authors are doing. There's a Stand anthology coming out this year.
Oh, very cool.
Another one?
Yeah, it's official. I think it's official.
Oh, wow.
And it's a lot of popular horror authors, and they all did stories. I don't know if it's inspired by The Stand or it's like really like canon or...
Yeah.
I'm going to get it, but...
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
No, I'm definitely going to read it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But,
so, your books, are they... I didn't catch this earlier, or if I did, I don't
Dark
remember.
Echoes?
Are you trying to make a trilogy?
Or a series?
A series?
Oh, not off of Black Echoes, I think.
Black Echoes.
That'll just be...
Like a standalone. Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought someone said something about trilogies, or it could have been something else.
I do have this character. Of course, none of the stuff's been published, but I've got a character in some of the recent stuff I've written that I'd love to serialize and keep writing about it. Private investigator.
Very cool.
But
I love true crime.
So
if you need someone to help read, I am not shy. I'm probably like your wife. I will tell you what I think. For real, like if you want somebody to give you honest truth,
not me. No. I just
like if I can't get through like the first 100 pages, I'm like, look, dude.
Well, give Black Echoes a shot.
Okay.
We've got the copy. I know it's around here somewhere. My granddaughter's moved it, so I don't know where it went to. But
I guess I should say you can get it on Amazon or. Preferably Slay House's website. That's probably the best way to do it.
If you will give me a link when we leave, I'll put it on our Instagram.
Sure.
So you can
we'll put it. Yeah, we'll definitely. Yep. We have to add everything for you.
Yep. All your social
because
media.
we want you to be able to get maybe some. If our listeners want to, read your book, we want to get all the details so that way, they can. We can link it in the show notes, right?
Yep, sure can.
And all the good stuff about JB.
That's right.
Because we want to make sure that it's JB.
That's right. All right, so this is a good spot for our second break, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we are back. So I don't know what... We probably need to reformat the show notes. I always put the snack time at the end, even though we've been eating the damn thing the whole time.
Maybe we can introduce the cocktail, then introduce the snack, then do a break, and then do the interview. But no one's emailed to say they care, so we just do what we want.
There you go. Do you want to introduce it, Jay, or you want me to do it?
I don't have any because I gave them all to
JB.
no to Zane to throw away, so I'll let you introduce the snack.
So here in Huntsville, we just got a brand new grocery store called Food City, and we were walking around there yesterday getting stuff for fajitas for tonight, and we saw this. It's Gel.
Is it gel?
Bel Gioioso.
Oh, on here you put gel.
Oh, did I? Oh, whatever. Yeah. It's a Asiago cheese. What did y'all think?
Really, really yummy.
I thought it was good.
I liked it a lot. It wasn't like
overpowering,
crazy, and it was smelly, and it worked really good with my crackers. I'm sorry if you heard me with crackers, but whenever there's cheese, there's crackers.
Jennifer didn't have any of the beer, but what did you think of the beer?
Beer was delicious.
Yeah.
The wine was delicious.
Boozy, but delicious.
All right, so we've had our snack time, we've had our cocktail, we've had our snack time. So now it's story time. So, Mr. JB, you got a funny story, but we asked you to put one in the chamber, as you called it earlier.
Yeah. So, growing up, I had 2 younger siblings. I'm the oldest, and I had a younger brother, younger sister. And at some point, as we got older, my brother, to this day, is taller than me. He got bigger than me, which was tough as an older brother. Because it's like, no, I'm the older brother.
I'm taller than my younger brother. My older brother.
I feel you. My younger brother is 6'8", and then with his fro is 6'4", and then with his fro he's like 6'6". So I'm looking up to my little brother that just is weird.
Yeah, my brother's probably 5'10" or 11.
Oh,
5'10",
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
My
we're short.
Yeah.
My brother's 5'5", and I'm 6'4".
So I think he's probably the tallest person in our family.
Wow.
But anyway, so as we got older, brothers tension.
Oh yeah.
What?
Fights. Yeah, and both not willing to back down. And this one, of course now we were friends then too, but great friends now. We text about movies all the time. It just growing up, how much all the fights and all the BS kids I can't even.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what we fought about. Like
just
that's
brother
just being around each other too much.
Yep.
And just how it is when you're stuck in a car. Or,
just BS.
Why did you grab fighting over food? Like, why'd you grab the last slice of pizza? Stuff like that. That I can't even remember what.
You ate the last honey bun.
And this story I'm telling now, I cannot even remember why we started wrestling upstairs. But it got to the point where my mom wasn't big enough to control us. She's 5'4", 5'5", and just could not. Like, if we wanted to fight, and we usually drew the line at throwing punches. Like, they usually.
Oh, that's.
Is it more like shoveling?
Well, it was implicit. We never actually laid out that line. I think it was. I don't remember it happening, and we started going at it. I don't even know. And we ended up going through. We had this on the top of our stairs. It was a smaller attic space.
Mm-hmm.
My dad had we had a lot of attic space. Because he was a home builder, and he included all this attic space, which to this day I don't understand, because I feel like we have more attic space than home sometimes. But
he wanted to be Clark Griswold and go up there and watch Home Family.
Speaking of favorite movies, we watch Christmas Vacation every year.
Yeah, he just wanted to go up there and watch the Home Family, movies. And
yeah, we were going and grappling, and we went through that door and the drywall, into this attic.
Wow.
But it was, I call it an attic, but it was actually when you would walk up the stairs and then walk to the playroom or eventually band room, you were parallel to it. So it wasn't like attic above you. So we went through the wall in to this space, and both had the moment of
oh shit.
What the hell I'm calling your dad.
Oh shit.
I'm calling your dad. And to this day, it's become kind of family lore. We each try to say, no, we can never agree on who threw the wall.
Did y'all both end up in the wall at one point?
Well, I'll never back down.
Do you remember?
I don't remember it that well anymore. I'll never back down. I threw him through the wall. And I even had a buddy of mine had to go, my brother's a physician, had to go see him. And I was like, hey, tell him, let my brother know who threw the wall. And my buddy did. But yeah, that was just one of those things that happened. And I'm sure there's so many more stories, but for whatever reason, that one has risen to the top. The whole family.
So, about how old were you?
We were in high school.
Oh, okay.
So 15
I was
to
probably 17
18?
or 18. Yeah.
Okay.
And we were, I'm not
so
tall by
20
any
plus
means.
years, y'all have been talking about this story.
Yeah, and we were,
Wow.
and we were not, Taylor and I aren't like slender people. We were like,
You're solid.
well, yeah, and my mom just couldn't stop us. And
I don't think she would want to try at 5'4".
I remember her getting frustrated and storming down the stairs because
I'm calling your
she
dad.
was going to call Dad,
Yep.
who was obviously going to be very upset when he got home.
Yep.
And it was his house too. That house was his baby, so we knew,
Oh,
and we had
no.
stepped in it.
So that's why y'all kept saying, "Oh, he did it. No, JB did it. No, he did it. No, JB."
Probably,
because you didn't want to feel the wrath of DAD.
Yeah.
Do you remember what your consequence? Like, I would
I'm
assume
sure
you're
we
in high
got
school, like you weren't getting spankings, but
No, and we didn't. No, it wasn't. I'm sure we got in trouble. I cannot remember.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure it was definitely a get to your room.
Yeah.
We'll, do not say a word.
And then eventually you're going to fix this shit because I'm the one that built this shit.
I honestly, talking about, man, I just don't. Some people have such great memory.
yeah, not us.
Not us.
Yeah, I'm just not.
You're part of our club. It's fine.
But I'm sure there's no way we got off light.
Yeah.
No.
I cannot remember what the punishment
You were
was.
digging ditches 6 foot by 3 feet.
Sure.
I don't know what a grave is, but you were digging holes into the ground the size of you and your brother at one point.
But it's cool getting older, and I am actually friends with my sibling, which is
Which is really good. Yes.
So it's cool during the day if I'm having a bad day, and we're texting about a Michael Mann movie or a Christopher Nolan movie, or just the other day we were texting about when I saw the last Mission Impossible with my son, and he was curious. I told him we were going, and he was curious if it was any good, which I really enjoyed it.
Was that the newest, the fourth?
Final Reckoning.
Was that the fourth installment of it now?
Oh man, no, they're up to
5,
this is
6?
number 8 part 2.
Oh shit! Okay, never mind. Yeah, he's got there's just, and then the things he does just to get
in his 60s, still doing
and
stunts for incredible.
hangs on from airplanes and gets hurt. It's like Jackie Chan. It's like, dude, if you have enough money, just let somebody else do it.
It was the
or
last
train
one,
for it.
supposedly. So
Yeah.
Good for him.
Gosh.
Well, when you were talking about your brother throwing your mom couldn't get in the way, I was watching some Graham Norton interview with Henry Cavill, and he was talking about his. He had brothers, and their mom or their dad went away for a while and came back, and his dad was like, "Did you change the wallpaper?" And the mom was like, "There was so much blood on the others because I guess they were throwing punches. I'm guessing." So yeah, there was blood being flung around in the Cavill household.
Oh, sugar pie honey bunch.
Too many boys gets too much violence, especially with that much puberty and testosterone.
Wow. That's crazy. That's a good story, though.
That is a good story.
Good night.
All right. So
We're going to have to get your dad on so he can tell us, because he might remember what the punishment was.
I'm sure he does. Yeah.
But I say, is your mom local? Your mom and dad local?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, but ask them if they would like to come. I know your wife said she's private, so she may not want to, but may I ask your mom and dad, see if they would like to come on, have a cocktail and talk about you as a kid.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear about young JB.
Yeah.
And your brother and your sister, too.
Yeah, no.
Everybody's
local, so.
Oh,
and how they do your siblings have children?
Yeah, they do.
And how do JB and their kids get along?
They my brother's got 3 kids and my sister's got 2, and the cousins, some of the with my sister's kids, there's pretty significant age gap, so they're friendly and they get along, but it's a different dynamic. Yeah, my kids are just the older.
Yeah, that's how I am with my cousins. I'm 20 years younger than some of my cousins.
But I mean, it's not like a huge gap, but it's enough.
But they're more in their teenage years.
Yeah, and so the younger kids like them, but they
11.
Just don't have anything in common.
Yeah.
My brother's kids, there's some. The ages are pretty close.
Oh, good.
But they just go to different schools, so. But they're all friends. They all get along.
But I say, doesn't one of your nieces and nephews go to they're in class with B and Clea, aren't they? Or is that your sisters?
Well, we have step family.
Oh, step family.
So,
okay.
But we're all close, so we don't make the distinction. We just say niece or
Family.
nephew, family.
Yeah.
I mean, he's no kind of relation to me whatsoever, but this is my family, you know. So you choose your family.
Yeah,
you have your blood family, but sometimes blood is not as thick as what you've chosen.
My
so
step siblings,
you know,
we're all friends.
that's great.
Awesome. That's awesome.
It's great.
That is great. Well, thank you so much for your story and being on the podcast.
Yeah, no,
I hope you had a good time. Hope you weren't too nervous.
No, I feel like I think I taught more music and movies than.
Hey, I mean, like, that's part of parenthood.
Yeah.
Is like the things we do, you know, as, I mean, we're still human. So.
And you know, like I said, my mom would watch the movie first and then say, okay, you have to leave at this part. And I did that with my son.
That's what Jay. That's our agreement. Is he wants to know what's coming,
right?
And so I vet him.
And my thing is, like, he wants to go to the movies, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to go to the movies twice to watch the same movie. So you'll either have to wait until I watch the movies and it streams, or you just won't watch the movie. Because it's not as easy as it was back in the day with the recording of the whatchamacallits. But yeah.
Recording movies of like Christmas Vacation for years. We watched the one my dad had taped off at NBC.
Oh, yeah.
So like I remember when the tape would stop and when you could see like the squiggly gray lines from when like it messed up.
Yeah.
And it didn't have any of the cussing or
Yep.
Was straight, like, it's crazy.
Pre-DVD.
Yeah, but my mom, like I said, had a book and would just label it, and then she'd say, okay, we'll watch it, but whenever I say leave, you gotta leave. Because some movies aren't for kids. Scarface.
That would not.
I got bit by a dog when I was little in my face, so I've had, my scars have kind of turned into like dimples, and you can't really see them, but I can. And so I was like, why didn't you let me watch Scarface? And she was like, there was no part of that movie that I probably could have not paused. And it would have just been forward fast throughout the whole thing. So, but anyways.
All right. So this is probably, we're already at an hour and 50. So.
Look at us go. We did good.
So, JB, thanks for coming on. And for all our listeners, if you have any funny stories about your kids,
or if you need some bad parenting advice, or if you have any ideas for topics,
email us at guideto-poor-parenting@gmail.com.
or call us and leave a message at 256-274-1329.
And thanks again for listening to another episode of A Guide to Poor Parenting.
If you don't,
Nope.
If you like our podcast,
there you go.
Sorry, if you like, don't worry about the don't. Please give us a 5-star rating on whatever platform you listen on.
And if you don't like our podcast, just like when our kids ask why we can't get a dog, even though they run away anytime the neighbor's 10-pound dog tries to jump on them.
Tough shit.
God damn it.
Either get over it or you're not getting a dog.
Nope.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks,
See ya.
JB.